New Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, the baptism of fire on the job came early. Wike has visited the scene of the collapsed two-story building in Garki 2, Abuja. Speaking at the scene, Wike restated his earlier statements that structures in the federal FCT without approval will be demolished. Let's share some updates on this story with you.
Treatment, they are responding to treatment. We have a team of welfare officers who are going around to check on them to ensure that they receive the right treatment, and also we know the state of health as at this time, so that if there is anyone that we can move to another higher grade hospital, we can easily do that, to actually to another hospital. From there, we can now go back and see what was really the cause of the demolition. An expert can do that.
These are the things we have been saying. Nobody knows whose turn it will be. Therefore, it is important that when government says they will take action, I do not know why it has taken long that the FCT did not settle them. And so we'll take immediate action to see the enemies of this area settled, and then government has to flag this place.
The way we campaigned in Lagos that it's time to restore sanity in Lagos State, I think it's time to restore sanity in Abuja too. Ikeo, are you there?
Oh, are you there? Yes, I am.
Okay.
I heard someone saying that Abuja is not Port Harcourt, that Governor, Wike should realize that Abuja is not Port Harcourt. I wonder what that person was saying, believing that it was making sense. Was he thinking that the people in Port Harcourt are more sedate and incapable of revolting like Abuja people? No. The fact is, Wike, as governor, was a strong governor. He put his foot down, and no one who had not been to Port Harcourt in a long time would say that there is no change, except that person decided to be blind. Wike did tremendous work in Port Harcourt, a very strong governor, and that is the sort of person that Abuja needs. And I'm confident that the president will back him in restoring sanity to this town, this FCT. When you are going around Abuja in the night, you see that a lot of places in Abuja, there is no street lights, pitch darkness, in the heart of the city. I wonder how people, successive administrations in FCT, allowed that to happen. Then you go to some places in the central area, around the mosque and the ecumenical center. If you are unlucky, you are dropped from a cab in that area, you are going to be mugged because there are robbers in those areas. And Wike is saying, look, we don't want street trading because people are using street trading to rob people. My friend Mohamed Garuba was relieved of his phone in broad daylight in Abuja. If you told me such things could happen in Abuja in the past, I would have argued. So Abuja has deteriorated over the years, and it needs someone like Wike to fix it. Wike has said there are so many places where you do not need bus stops, where bus stops are being legally created. People are trading by the side of the road. The city is dirty. The sanity of the city has been taken away. This is a city that we all must be proud of. All the things that we see here in the FCT, we don't see in some federal capitals of some countries. So our Abuja deserves the best. Where people have built houses without recourse to planning, something has to be done. We can't allow Abuja to turn to another Lagos. So no one should try to demoralize or try to frighten the new FCT minister. He has to do his job. or making this place better in terms of sanitation, in terms of security, in terms of even nightlife. Do what was done in Lagos, light up Lagos. Start it in Abuja. Let's have light up Abuja. So that all of those places where the street lights are dead can be revived, and the city will look really beautiful at night. Wike is committed to this, and nobody. He does not need the advice of anyone who will come and say that, no, you can't do it. If you try to do it, the president will stop you. Who told you the president will stop him? How did you come to that conclusion? Did the president share a word with you about his plans for Abuja? So all of these things, including houses, these days houses are going down in Abuja. It was not like that before. So the people even given approvals for those houses to be built, they need to be identified. The bad eggs at FCD should be chased away. As simple as that.
Tony, Lagos is still number uno. Number one, Jide, you're in Abuja there. We've given you to Abuja. We've seeded you to Abuja. Lagos is still Lagos. But when we're looking at it, looking at Nyesom Wike, what he has set out to do, and this is we even buttress what he said the day before yesterday, that no time for illegal building, illegal structures, and Abuja is now densely populated, traffic here and there. I would like to compare it to Lagos anyway.
Yeah. Governor Nyesom Wike, or former Governor Nyesom Wike, maybe seen by some people as loquacious, noisy, but that should not cast aspersion on his capability to deliver on government promises. He was governor of Rivers State for 8 years, and his records are there for everybody to see. Take away politics from him. You know, he's capable. He has proven himself over time. You know, so assuming office as the minister of FCT, for me, is how do I put it? It's a small fry. It's something I know he will deliver, and I know he has the president backing, and I know the president may have given him a mandate on what he wants FCT to be like. It's simple. So no one will sit down and watch FCT degenerate to a slum level, like what is going on right now. We have all manner of people coming into the city to frustrate, people. I mean, no sane government to tolerate that. So, coming today, visiting the site of the collapsed building, 2 days ago, he mentioned something like this, that some buildings are really going to go down. And I support him. I mean, Abuja has a master plan. I mean, it's only a country that has no focus, that you see all manner of people coming up, breaking the laws, and nothing happens. So if he's coming now to say, this is how, FCT is the capital of the country. It's a federal capital territory. And there must be sanity there. So whoever is going to drive it, take away the person in question here, whoever can drive it, I think Nigeria will support.
Well, we should have in Nigeria that everybody should not be
just do the right thing.
State capital hustling. We should have people that's our state decentralized to the extent that you can meet up the standard of everybody. Lagos can be replicated everywhere. Abuja can be replicated everywhere. Everybody, you don't have to be in Washington, D.C. to achieve anything. So people are trooping to Abuja. Right now, the way people from east, west, north, south
the failure of the states
concentrated in Abuja, I think something must be done about that.
Yeah, I understand.
Correct.
The growth rate of Abuja is about 30% every year. One of the fastest growing cities in Africa. And I think in 1977, when Abuja was conceived, the International Planning Associates, a conglomerate of about 3 American companies, they had 5 phases. Each phase has about 50 districts. And I don't think up to now we have even crossed the 3rd phase. You know, so there have been a lot of distortion, you know, in the master plan of Abuja. So I think from the position of law, the current minister, Honorable Nyesom Wike, is correct. If a building is illegal, the normal thing is that that building has to go. However, in sociology and politics, you must interpret and enforce law within the context of cultural and social implications. So for me, I think that coming in for the first time, the first day in office, even though illegal buildings must go, it's a priority, but I don't think it's of topmost priority in the context of the environment to find ourselves. So while I agree with what everybody is saying, they must go another, in terms of methodology, I think I differ. Because if you put down, let's say, about 2,000 houses, 3,000 in the first 2-3 weeks, you are going to displace some 30,000 people. That means having about 40 to 30,000 IDPs in Abuja. You have to look at the social consequences. People living in shanties, not out of their own free will, but by circumstances beyond their control. And they have women, they have children, they must go. The capital city is not meant for rich men alone. It's not meant for those that have money. So I think we need to balance this within the context of our economic realities. And I believe that there are also serious other problems within Abuja. Babangida has mentioned all of them. Security. I was in Abuja last week. My driver was telling me, hold on to your phone. If you are not, you can just break your car and then take your car and then even stand there and say, come down. To come and challenge. So it was not like this before.
After snatching the phone.
The driving culture in Abuja is so reckless. And the VIOs, they still take, manually, taking your, So you wonder what is happening to CCTV in a modern city? What is happening to management of water resources? What is happening to biodiversity? What is happening to housing? What is our plan for millions of people that live in Suleja, in, the outskirts? Do we have a housing plan for them? Indigenous people of Abuja, how do you want to incorporate their cultural heritage into the master plan of Abuja? So I think there are major issues on the ground, and demolition of buildings is one of them. But I don't think it should be the topmost issue that has to be addressed in the first few weeks of settling down, of the ministry. But I think it's something that has to be a gradual process, so that we don't cause a kind of a social upheaval within the system.
Okay, Jide, should everybody be in Abuja?
No, the problem is not that everybody wants to be in Abuja. That's not the problem. New York is already big, yet more and more people are coming into New York. In fact, because New York is growing rapidly in terms of population, some are moving out of New York and going to Arizona. During the last presidential election, it affected the pattern of voting because Arizona had always voted Republican. But because a lot of those Mexicans, Hispanics, because some of them were leaving New York to relocate to Arizona, because New York had become so expensive to live in. It altered the voting pattern, and the Democrats carried Arizona. So I believe that if a city is well planned, most big cities will always be bursting at the seams with population. It's just like Shanghai in China. All of those, Tokyo, you have people will come in. This is where things are happening. But you must prepare for the influx of people. I still don't believe that Abuja that there are too many people in Abuja. The problem is the fact that people are simply doing what they like, setting up bus stops where they like, disposing waste just the way they like, and these things were not happening. Both industrial waste and other kinds of waste must be disposed properly. It's the FCT for God's sake. But if everyone is behaving like nothing is happening, if you don't try to arrest the drift, it will turn into a very ugly city, because already it's the second fastest growing city in our country in terms of the migration of people after Lagos. So if moves are not made to sanitize the city, stop people from building on drainage channels the way they were building it in Lagos, and they turn Lagos to a place with consistent flooding issues, then we are going to have problems. So it's getting people to abide by the law. That is the problem now. Letting people realize that they can't just set up habitation the way they like. They can't just set up bus stops the way they like. They can't trade just anywhere, just the way they like. You are coming from the airport. Look to your left and see some of the illegal bus stops that people have created. So I'm seeing Lagos in my head when I'm here. We cannot allow Abuja to degenerate into another Lagos. That would be very unfair.
All right, Jide. Don't worry. You never will deal with them. We have the Wike as the governor now. So I want to thank you for your contribution today. I want to thank you for coming. Wale Adeoye. Thank you. And Jide playing from the diaspora.
Yes. Thanks.
When are you coming back?
It's too early to ask me when I'm coming back.
You just arrived.
And I've not been here in 2 months. So I have people here too who always want me to come here. So you will offend them. You will offend them. Asking me when I'm coming back.